Alright, so that Act 1 walkthrough was pretty lengthy. I'm going to continue to make these lengthy videos through the rest of the acts, but alongside them I want to make a more condensed version for the people that don't have time or just don't want a longer video. So here's Act 1 summarized. Alright, so in the bottom right corner of your screen, you've got your default attack as your left click, where your skills are. You're going to want to left click that little sword icon and make sure that you select the feat. And that basically just says you don't want a default attack, you want to only move when you left click. Halfway through the beach at the start, you're going to find your first support gem. Do not miss this chest because it's not mandatory to click, but you definitely want to click this chest and get your support gem and link it to your primary gem. Up next is your first boss, Hillik. It's pretty easy. You can just kind of kite around him in circles, don't get hit by his melee attack, and then when he gets low enough, he kind of re-heals. You just kind of kite him around and kill him. I briefly touched following a guide from Maxroll. I'm in no way affiliated to Maxroll, but they have a huge list of wonderful guides that will tell you what skills to level up, what gems to use, what gear to look for. I'll link the build guide that I'm using below for anyone that wants to follow along. Also, while we're in town, we're going to check the vendors for any links that you may need. Green, green, red was one I needed specifically, and also movement speed boosts. That's just magic boots that have movement speed on them. Now that you're at the end of the coast, you don't want to go right into Tidal Island. You actually want to follow this map and go into Submerged Passage and then circle back to Tidal Island so that by the time you get your Quicksilver Flask, it'll be level 4 and hopefully roll with something nice on it. In the Mudflats, you're looking for 3 glyphs that are found inside Roa nests. They're usually located in a triangle kind of manner like this. Once you grab all 3, make your way to the next zone, the Submerged Passage. If at any point you come across an item that has at least 3 linked sockets of all colors, such as this bow that is red, green, and blue, all linked together, you want to sell this item to a vendor for a chromatic orb. These are worth picking up and vendoring well into the endgame. Alright, now that we're to the Submerged Passage, don't forget to circle back, go back to the Tidal Island, and fight Hailrake. Hailrake is a little hard, he tracks your movement pretty well, do a lot of damage, and then once you kill him, do not forget to go back to town and select a Quicksilver Flask. Now that we're back in the Submerged Passage, we're looking for a few things. We need to find either a cave that the big crab lives in, or a longish bridge. The cave will always be before the bridge, and it's important that we use a town portal on either the cave as we come across it, or if we find the bridge, we want to use the town portal at the bridge. So that way we can come back to fight the crab when we're at a higher level. It's also important to note that we don't want to use another town portal once we have this one down because it will be overwritten. So, but we don't want to wait too long either that we would have to backtrack and waste time finding it again. So we want to lay down our portal and then come back using a waypoint to the town so that we can use the portal to come back and fight the crab when we're at a higher level and it'll be much easier. As we come across the ledge, we can use this waypoint to go back and fight the crab, or we can push a little further to the next zone if we want a few more levels. Also at this waypoint, there's an arrow built into the stones nearby, and it signals the way to go for the next zone in case you get a little turned around. In the prison, we need to complete a trial, which is like a small maze with traps. Throughout the game, there are several trials that you must complete so that your character can ascend. Every class's ascension is a huge power boost, giving them access to a more powerful skill tree. For this one, you have to run around the right side, click a lever, then circle back to the start while avoiding traps, and then the door that lever unlocked, you'll go through there and then click the plaque at the end. Make sure to click the plaque, and then it will summon a portal and you can portal back out to the beginning. Going through the prison will lead you to the unique monster Brutus. He can be pretty tough if you haven't kept up with your gear and your skills. Some things to think about as a checklist before you fight him are your skill gems all leveled up? Have you upgraded your flasks? Do you have any remaining skill points that you haven't allocated yet? If you still have a white weapon, use that essence that the crab gave you to make it rare and hopefully gain some more damage. Heading into the ship graveyard, you'll want to find the ship graveyard cave. Inside you'll find, at the end, a quest item called the Allflame. Once you exit the cave with the Allflame, go find Captain Fairgraves in the ship graveyard to turn it in. Now all that's left to do is to go through the caves and take out Mervale. Make sure that your life and mana flasks are up to date using the flask recipe. Make sure that you've spent all of your skill points, including from the few books that give you skill points. Make sure that your skill gems are all leveled up, and if you can, buy or craft a sapphire ring using an iron ring and any blue skill gem as a vendor recipe. Thanks again for your support. Please like the video, consider subscribing, and comment anything that I may have missed. I'll see you in Act 2.